There's
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
1984.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, yes.
So I'm Anne Marie.
I'm Matt.
And today we're going to be critiquing
I thought that it was a mediocre comedy, which, considering that I'm a big fan of the original Ghostbusters, and I think it's one of the best and most timeless comedies I've seen. You know, the new one, like if it stands on its own, it's like just kind of a mediocre comedy for me, kind of, you know, average to a little bit below average. But, you know, the fact that it takes so much from the original movie, and you haven't seen the original film,
No.
So you kind of have a different perspective on it. But there are a lot of references to the original film. They kind of take a lot of the original characters or imagery or things like that. They're obviously building on nostalgia for it, but at the same time trying to kind of create their own new characters and their own new continuity. This is not like a sequel to the original film. This is an all new continuity. You know, it's impossible not to compare it to the original one. And
if you've seen the original one, which was in, what, 1984?
It was in 1984, but I think it's
some of us were not even born yet. So, to be honest,
2 years old, yes.
A lot of people, you know, if you haven't seen it before, like I haven't, you know, it wasn't, I wouldn't call it a great movie. I don't think it was worth $12.50 in the theaters, but if it was on TV or, you know, you had nothing else to do, I thought it was okay. So the new one stars Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, Kristen Wiig, and Leslie Jones. Mm-hmm. And then Chris Hemsworth plays a very stupid...
he's kind of, he's the token dumb character.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, the character, I think, kind of fell flat. Like, I think it was just plain dumb. It wasn't really funny. I thought... Maybe the Patty, I think, the Leslie Jones character was probably, for me, the funniest. There's, like, a few laughs. I mean, it wasn't super hilarious, but...
Yeah, I think kind of, like, the issue for me is... And, again, I know that I'm comparing to the original film, so I don't want to do it too much, because, you know, if this was just, like, a decent comedy, you know, even though I think that, like, a Ghostbusters remake is unnecessary, because... you know, the original one holds up well. I understand that they're going to make a new one because there's an opportunity to make money, to make a film that has a lot of name recognition. So I get that. So if it were just like an okay comedy, that would be fine, I guess. You know, you could just ignore it or watch it if you like. The thing is, like, I felt like everybody was kind of doing their own comedy routine. Like, you know, Leslie Jones did her thing, you know, kind of like the loud, obnoxious, but sort of good-natured character. Kate McKinnon kind of did her strange, it was a version of, sort of like an exaggerated version of one of the characters from the original one, the Egon from the original film. They were kind of all doing their own thing, but they didn't really mesh well as a team. Like, the original cast, I think they really played off each other really well. This cast, it just seemed like everybody had their own little routine. Chris Hemsworth was doing his unbelievably stupid character who every single gag with him was, how can you be this stupid? Like he was saying, oh, I'll cover my ear. I shouldn't be able to hear what you guys are talking about. So he would cover his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit over the top.
Yeah,
but he's really good at Thor.
Yes.
Well,
there you go.
He was nice to look at.
Well, I can't comment on that. You're my wife, so you shouldn't be commenting on it either, but that's fine. Yeah.
He looks better than he does in Thor, in my opinion.
Well, okay. Tell us more about Chris Hemsworth in this movie, Anne-Marie.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. You know, there are a lot of special effects. It's kind of predictable. The villain isn't very interesting. That was one of the things I liked about the original, was that they had this really good contrast between, like, you know, the Ghostbusters were sort of, they have their own kind of routine, and then they were fighting this ancient Sumerian demon, essentially, like a Lovecraftian horror, and there was the ghosts were actually kind of scary in the original
They were.
film.
Well,
In the original film,
yeah.
but this one, like, they have a different villain.
The Pillsbury Dough ghost.
Well, they have the right, exactly. This is like the kind of thing I was talking about how they want to do their own new thing. They don't want to completely copy the original one, but at the same time, they know everybody really wants to see a new version of the original one. So the original film had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as the big joke at the end, a giant marshmallow man. They have sort of an appearance by him in this, but they create like another monster for the end of the movie who's very similar, obviously supposed to remind you of him, but it's something else. I won't say too much what. So a lot of nostalgia for the original film, but
some
trying to do
cameos
some
by a
twists
couple
on
of people, which
all the
went
surviving
over my head
Ghostbusters.
since I never saw it.
Yeah, all the surviving Ghostbusters cast have.
So people die in the original.
Well, no, one of the actors died
okay.
from the original Ghostbusters, Harold Ramis. I heard somebody mention there was sort of a cameo by him, but I didn't pick it up. But they have Bill Murray does. I didn't think it was a very funny cameo. It was kind of drawing a lot of attention drawn to him.
I don't even remember.
He was sort of, he plays the scientist who
that
was,
old man.
Yeah, the old man who was very skeptical of it. The gag with that is like, Bill Murray played the guy who did not like the government, the skeptic character in the original one. He was kind of always mocking him, and in this one, he plays the skeptic character who comes in and causes trouble for the Ghostbusters.
And the government doesn't come out looking too good in this one, but it's
No.
very true to life.
Well, it's kind of weird because the original movie kind of got their laughs from the idea that the Ghostbusters are doing their own thing. They're chasing ghosts, and then the mayor's office does not believe them at all. They think this is ridiculous, and it's funny. It was funny to see the Ghostbusters trying to convince the mayor that a Sumerian demon was coming to attack New York, and he's just looking at them befuddled. That was like the joke. Mm-hmm. In this one, they kind of subvert that a little bit because the mayor's office actually does believe them and congratulates them on their work, but publicly they have to say this is ridiculous for some reason that's barely explained. So they sort of try to have a different dynamic. I don't think it works as well, but at least you could say they're trying something different.
And the best thing about the movie is probably the theme song, which I have heard before.
Yeah.
So we'll do it.
Oh, that's classic.
Yes.
Okay.
There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghost. So anyway, once again,
they have a bad version of it too. They have one by Fall Out Boy, Missy Elliott, but they play it very briefly in the movie. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm Anne-Marie.
And I'm Matt.
And again, please, if you like it, share. If you don't like it, share it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, take care.
Take care. Bye.